iPhone 14 is just around the corner and we expect the notch to finally disappear. But today it's not about the notch, but about cameras. It's hard to predict what changes will happen to the iPhone 14's camera, but the iPhone 13's camera, to be honest, surprised me, as a person who's been using this device for almost 6 months. In this video, I want to share my experience of using it and is it worth buying this smartphone for video and photo. Maybe it's a better idea to get something cheaper, or is it true that Apple has created a magic phone and this is the best camera phone you can find? Let's figure it out. My name is Arthur Weiner, this is the Movavi vlog, and let's go. I think you already have an idea of what these cameras are capable of. Big sensor, big lens, bunch of settings. As a result, we get a deep, nice image with shallow depth of field and a wide variety of colors. And it's interesting that we're getting so close to some top-of-the-line cameras, and one of the reasons is the cinematic mode. It's clear that we cannot compare these cameras side by side because different devices for different tasks, but it's still quite interesting to see how good the iPhone 13's camera actually is. This cinematic mode is possible because of the thing called computational photography. Not going into details, it means that the hardware and software got so better so it could understand the depth, object edges, and digitally add different effects to some parts of the image. In our case, bokeh. And when I started my career as a teenager, I would have been so happy if you told me that I could add bokeh to my videos using a smartphone. But how good this mode actually is, let's figure this out. But before you figure out how to film, it's actually a good idea to figure out how to edit so you can get an idea of how your video will look like in post right on the filming stage. And it won't take you too long because you can edit videos and retouch photos with the help of one software bundle, like Video Suite and Picverse Photo Editor. The good news is both apps are available on the Movavi secret sale. Movavi Video Suite is an accessible and intuitive platform that combines video editing, screen recording, and file converting tools in one place. It doesn't require the latest top-of-the-line computer to run smoothly, and its convenient preset system will help you save your time on preparing raw footage and editing videos. Picverse Photo Editor will give you not just basic features such as pasting overlay images, adding text, or changing background, but also AI tools for retouching your photos in seconds. Once installed, Picverse will be built right into the Video Suite main menu, making the creation process even more convenient. The lifetime version of the Video Suite plus Picverse Photo Editor software bundle is available at 60% off on the exclusive Movavi sale. Hit the link below to use this or any other special offer from our secret page. Alright, the biggest thing you've probably noticed in this B-roll is the difference between the quality of bokeh on the iPhone 13 and the cinema camera. On the iPhone 13, depth of field is not real, it's computer generated, and on the cinema camera, it is real. On a big lens, when you adjust the focus ring, you're actually shifting the focus, and depth of field has this really nice looking fall off. In other words, we can actually see and feel the depth in the shot. But the cinematic mode, what it does is, it analyzes depth in your shot and it goes, okay, here's the background, here's the foreground, and let's make one sharp and one blurry. So it literally splits the image into 2 layers, the foreground and the background. It's kinda like driving with a mechanical gearbox and then switching to Tesla. With a mechanical gearbox, you can literally feel the parts moving that actually get your car in motion, but with an electric car, we get entirely different processes going on inside the car. The goal is the same, but the approach is different. However, you can comfortably and safely drive in Tesla, but the filming process with the cinematic mode is kinda not so comfortable. But we still get quite many upsides. Firstly, for an average user, it really makes your footage look more professional. You can call it a stylistic choice. And secondly, it gives you the power of telling your visual stories better. That's why actually we need shallow depth of field. We need to show what is important in the frame and what is not. So it's a very powerful tool for filmmakers. However, we get some limitations with the cinematic mode. We can only shoot in 1080 and only at 30 frames per second. second. No flexibility here, and there is just one way to adjust exposure. No ISO adjustments, no shutter speed, no white balance, just one exposure adjustment. But what gives this mode a huge advantage is the ability to control focus after the fact. You just click on Edit and touch an area that you want to focus on, which will set a keyframe. Then you can tap the aperture button and make it more or less blurry, or make it sharp if you're not happy with the result. It is so beautifully simple, and that's the main power of this mode. This is just not possible for a cinema camera. You need to think about your focus, because if you've missed it, you have to film it again. And you should keep in mind that this mode works fine only with your camera on a tripod or just a slight movement. Every time you try moving the camera faster, the cinematic mode just can't keep up with it, because it tries to understand the space, the depth, realize where the edges are, and a fast movement just ruins everything. But in general, it's not so critical, because you can always fix it in post, just remove the blur. So you have this flexibility here. Not taking this mode too seriously, it's really fun. You can play around with it, get some creative angles, and some results are mind-blowing. And in some cases, I might even go with the look from the iPhone rather than the cinema camera. And the camera does a great job at tracking faces, so it understands that there is a person in the shot and intelligently sets a focus point. Let's say you have no people in the shot and then someone walks into. The camera immediately catches the face and keeps on tracking it. So yeah, we have to admit, it's not perfect, but the actual idea at its core is genius. Just imagine the potential it has for future developments. This mode will 100% get better, and without a doubt we'll be able to film at 4K and probably even 8K one day with this mode. It's just a matter of when. Simply put, the perfected cinematic mode in the future with more flexible settings will be the only video mode I'm gonna shoot my videos with. But today it's like a great bonus. You can achieve good looking results and sometimes even professional looking results, but not always. And I think we're getting very close to what we can do with a cinema camera, not just with the cinematic mode, but in general. In the normal video mode, you can go with 4K 10-bit HDR, and you can use some third-party apps like Filmic Pro or ProMovie, because the settings are amazing there. You can really turn your phone into a professional filmmaking device. It's small, you can hide it in places, you can film underwater, which actually you cannot do with most cinema cameras without a special cover. So in general, the camera capabilities are awesome, and even professional filmmakers can start using it in their production. The dynamic range is great on the iPhone. You can see the details in the shadows, the highlights. I guess most people won't even notice the difference between the iPhone 13 and the cinema camera. Of course, when scaled up, we start seeing the difference. The image from the cinema camera is more detailed, the colors are better, but it's not a dramatic difference. Again, we're comparing two incomparable devices, but just the fact that you're watching this video already tells how far the iPhone's camera has gone. And if you upgrade to one of the Pro models, you will get even more features like macro, which is really awesome by the way, but not really practical. You film insects and stuff. Also the telephoto lens and the ability to shoot in ProRes. But going back to the cinematic mode, I think filmmakers who can afford a bigger camera, a DSLR or a cinema camera, will rarely use this mode. But beginner filmmakers who cannot afford a bigger camera should definitely play around with this mode and start telling their visual stories right away. Not to mention that this mode is very fun on a consumer level. And keep in mind that if you consider buying one of the 13's models, you will find the cinematic mode in each model. Yes, even the 13 mini. So if it's one of the main reasons you want to buy the iPhone 13, why not save the cash? And I know it's a bit of a cliche, but I gotta say this. The best camera is the one you have. No excuses, go make the content you want to make, don't complain about the new tech, use it to your advantage, it's here to help you, not to fight you. Now go ahead and tap on one of the videos you see on the screen to learn more about video and YouTube, tap the like button if this video was helpful to you, and see you in the next one.